Everyone thinks the Mary Celeste was a ghost ship. They're wrong. The year was 1872. The brigantine Mary Celeste, laden with 701 barrels of industrial alcohol, departed New York City for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7. A routine transatlantic voyage, or so it seemed. Just under a month later, on December 4th, the British brigantine Dei Gratia spotted the Mary Celeste adrift, about 400 miles east of the Azores. Its sails were partially set, but something was immediately, unsettlingly wrong. The Dei Gratia's captain, David Morehouse, knew Briggs personally. This wasn't right. A boarding party from the Dei Gratia found the ship deserted. Not a soul aboard. No distress signal had been sent. The life raft was missing, but everything else seemed untouched. The captain's logbook lay open, its last entry dated November 25th, 10 days prior. Dinner had been prepared, but never eaten. A sewing machine mid-stitch held a piece of fabric. Children's toys lay scattered. Valuables, including a chest of drawers containing Briggs's sword, were untouched. A ship abandoned in haste, yet without any sign of struggle or attack. This was no ordinary maritime disaster. The discovery ignited a firestorm of speculation that still burns today. Was it piracy, mutiny, sea monsters, or something far more unsettling, something that earned the Mary Celeste its enduring moniker, the ghost ship? Let's strip away the myths and examine the cold, hard facts. The Mary Celeste was seaworthy, its cargo largely intact. The only significant damage was a missing chronometer and sextant, vital navigation tools, and a pump that was dislodged. The missing life raft is crucial. It suggests a voluntary evacuation, but why? The ship wasn't sinking. There was no fire. The crew of the Dei Gratia noted the main hatch was improperly secured, possibly indicating a hasty departure or an attempt to ventilate fumes. One prevailing theory centers on the volatile nature of the cargo, crude alcohol. It's highly flammable, and leaks could produce noxious, explosive fumes. Could Captain Briggs have feared an imminent explosion? Imagine the scenario. A strong smell of alcohol, perhaps a small explosion or a rumbling from the hold. Briggs, prioritizing his family and crew, orders an immediate evacuation into the life raft, tethered to the ship, planning to wait out the perceived danger. But what if the tether broke? A sudden squall, a rogue wave, or a weakened rope? The Mary Celeste, with its sails partially set, would have drifted away, leaving the life raft and its occupants lost to the vast, unforgiving Atlantic. This theory is compelling because it accounts for the missing life raft, the untouched valuables, and the ship's seaworthiness. It suggests a tragic accident, a desperate measure that went horribly wrong, rather than a supernatural event. Another theory, less popular but still discussed, posits piracy. But the lack of plunder, the intact valuables, and the fact that the ship was found with its cargo largely undisturbed casts serious doubt on this idea. Pirates rarely leave a fully loaded ship. Mutiny is also a common trope in maritime mysteries. But again, no signs of struggle, no blood, no weapon. Captain Briggs was known as a fair, capable commander. His crew, though diverse, had no reported history of dissent or violence. The Mary Celeste case became a sensation, fueled by exaggerated accounts and fictionalized stories, most notably Arthur Conan Doyle's short story, J. Habakkuk Jeffson's Statement. Doyle's tale, while thrilling, introduced many elements that were pure invention. These fictional accounts often depicted grotesque scenes, sea monsters, or mysterious disappearances, firmly embedding the ghost ship narrative into public consciousness. The truth, however, is likely far more mundane and far more tragic. The formal inquiry into the Mary Celeste's abandonment, held in Gibraltar, uncovered no definitive answers. The court initially suspected foul play by the Dei Gratia's crew, but insufficient evidence led to their exoneration. The mystery remained. The dislodged pump is another key detail. If the pump wasn't working and the ship was taking on water, even slowly, combined with the alcohol fumes, it could have contributed to the captain's decision to abandon ship. The Mary Celeste itself met a rather inglorious end. After its abandonment, it continued to sail under different owners for another 12 years, until it was deliberately wrecked off the coast of Haiti in 1885 as part of an insurance fraud scheme. So was the Mary Celeste a ghost ship? Unlikely. The evidence points towards a sequence of unfortunate events. A captain, acting under perceived threat from a volatile cargo, makes a critical error that costs him, his family, and his crew their lives. The lack of bodies, the intact possessions, the missing life raft, these details, when viewed through a lens of maritime emergency and human error, paint a picture of tragedy, not the paranormal. The Mary Celeste remains one of history's most enduring maritime mysteries, not because of ghosts, but because the sea, in its vastness and unpredictability, can swallow lives and answers whole, leaving only questions in its wake. Perhaps the true horror isn't a supernatural entity, but the stark realization of human vulnerability against the raw power of nature. A vulnerability that sometimes leaves no trace, only lingering silence. If you're fascinated by the mysteries the sea refuses to give up, you'll want to watch our deep dive into the disappearance of Amelia Earhart.